You didn't click here by accident. Something bigger pulled you to this video, and I need you to pay attention now. The 0606 portal is about to open, and it's not just a date on the calendar. It's a point of cosmic amplification, capable of multiplying everything you carry inside you. This isn't empty mysticism. It's not theory. The ancient Egyptians called these moments cosmic windows, energetic doors that only those who are awake can cross consciously. And here's the shocker. You're already activating portals every day without realizing it. Every thought you repeat, every emotion you feed, every word that comes out of your mouth is a vibrational key. And if you don't understand this now, the 0606 portal will amplify exactly what you don't want. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to show you step by step how to use this opening to unlock your vibrational self-healing, aligning your energy field with universal forces. It's not cheap magic. It's not some external ritual. It's applied spiritual science. And I'm giving it all to you today. Are you ready? Then take a deep breath, because the most powerful part is starting now. The mind is everything. The universe is mental. He who masters his mind masters the worlds. What most people don't understand is that your energy field is not a fixed, static structure like an immovable wall around you. It's not just there as an invisible layer that surrounds you neutrally. It's alive. It pulses. It breathes with you, with every thought, every emotion, every little belief you hold deep in your mind. This field is shaping, tuning, reprogramming itself. And it doesn't need your conscious permission to do this. It simply responds. This means that even now, while you're hearing these words, even if you're not thinking of anything specific, your field is already picking up signals, already organizing frequencies, already creating patterns that will echo into your reality. Let's imagine a simple example just to make this clearer. Think of a day when you wake up irritated, maybe for no apparent reason. Have you noticed how, throughout that day, things seem to go wrong one after another? Unexpected traffic, a snide comment, a delay, a little household accident. The uncomfortable truth is that it's not bad luck. It's not coincidence. It's a reflection. The energy field around you absorbed the irritation, amplified that frequency, and began to magnetize situations vibrating on the same wavelength. And it's no use just thinking positive on the surface. If inside you're stuck in dense feelings like guilt, shame, fear, or anger, that's what's programming your field. And the universe doesn't respond to what you pretend to feel, but to what you truly hold as energy. Now let's elevate this understanding a bit. When you're at peace, when you feel genuine confidence, true joy, your field rises, it expands, it becomes more luminous, more fluid, more receptive to possibilities, vibrating at that same elevated frequency. Here's the first practical secret. You don't need to change everything around you to start transforming your life. You need to change the vibrational quality of what you carry inside. It's not magic. It's not some esoteric secret locked away. It's a universal law, like attracts like. But there's something even deeper and more unsettling behind this, because up to now we're talking about conscious emotions and thoughts, the ones you notice, recognize, feel in your daily life. But there's a hidden level, a level that affects your energy field even before you form a single clear thought. Something working behind the curtain in the backstage, moving the gears of your vibrational field automatically. And understanding this is the next step to truly start regaining control over your energy. The microportals you open without knowing. Imagine this. You're at home, sitting on the couch relaxing. You turn on the TV and start watching a show full of violence, gossip, competition, and humiliation. You think you're just distracted, having some fun, but energetically, Your field starts to resonate with that frequency, even without meaning to. You're tuning in and letting that vibration in. And it's not just on TV. The music you listen to while driving, the conversations you have with friends, the posts you read on social media, the jokes you share. All of these are small entry points, little openings that program your energy field. It's like every detail is a vibrational password. And here's the key, almost nobody wants to face. It doesn't take a big ritual to open an energy portal. You do it every time you give your attention to something. Attention is the biggest invitation. Where you place attention, you place energy. Where you place energy, you create connection. Where you create connection, you are opening a portal. This is scary because it forces you to realize you're not a passive victim of external influences. You are in constant vibrational dialogue with everything around you. The sad movie you watch while crying on the couch doesn't just affect you emotionally, it reconfigures your frequency. The complaint-filled conversation with a friend isn't just venting. It's a vibrational exchange that drags you down. Even the words you repeat mentally, the memes you share automatically, the news you consume without thinking, all of this is tuning your field to specific frequencies. And now comes the uncomfortable part. Certain content, certain products, certain messages aren't just there by accident. They are created, designed, architected intentionally to grab your attention, and by doing so drain your energy. I'm not talking about wild theories, but a simple fact. There are entire industries that survive by keeping you stuck in a specific vibration. And the worst part is that many of these vibrational traps are so well disguised that you don't even notice you've fallen into them. And this is where things start to get even more intense, because we're no longer just talking about what you as an individual consume or feel in your daily life. We're entering the collective field, the vibrational space that forms when thousands, sometimes millions of people are vibrating together, even if in opposite directions. Imagine a big concert, a protest, a sports event, a festival, any place where crowds gather and even without realizing it mix their energy fields. Each person there carries their emotions, their thoughts, their traumas, their intentions, and all of that pulses, all of that vibrates, all of that intertwines. It's like a huge energetic cloud hanging in the air, made not just of individual emotions, but the sum of them creating something bigger than any one person. And here comes the concept of energetic consonance, which might seem subtle but has real and immediate effects. Unlike what many people think, you don't stay vibrationally isolated when you're surrounded by others, even if you're in a good place, feeling peace, joy, love. If the environment around you is loaded with anger, frustration, anxiety, fear that affects you, you feel it. Because at the vibrational level, there's a natural tendency for energies to try to find a middle point, a balance. And unfortunately, what usually happens is that those who are more elevated get pulled down, while those who are denser rarely rise up on their own. Now think at a big event where people are emotionally heightened, where there are screams, cries, emotional outbursts. Who is conscious of that? Very few. Most just let themselves be swept away by the collective flow. And that's why mass environments can be so draining, because you don't realize you're giving part of your energy to the collective field. And it's not just physical exhaustion, it's energetic exhaustion. Your field loses consistency, loses brightness, loses strength. You leave exhausted, drained without knowing exactly why. And this happens not because someone attacked you directly, but because you opened up vibrationally in a collective environment without realizing it. This is the practical part few people talk about. It's no use just taking care of your individual energy if you constantly place yourself in dense collective fields without awareness. Because the energy of the masses has a power that goes beyond the sum of the parts. It creates its own vibration, a living organism that if you're not alert, swallows you, pulls you in, and makes you vibrate at the same rhythm. And it's exactly this mass effect that starts to gain huge importance when we talk about special moments like the opening of the 66 portal. But what makes the portal unique isn't just the collective energy that forms, it's the invisible pact that's about to be sealed. Something that happens behind the vibrational curtains and that you're going to understand before it happens. The spiritual hypnosis and how it unprotects your field. This invisible pact hanging in the air isn't sealed just through the emotions of the masses. It's woven into something much more subtle and much more dangerous. Spiritual hypnosis. Don't think here of that classic image of someone swinging a pendulum in front of you, counting to 3 to make you black out. We're talking about a collective state where people stay awake but not conscious. They're alert but not present. Their eyes are open, but they're not truly seeing. This hypnotic state doesn't happen by accident. It's carefully fed by symbols, images, words, melodies, messages you receive all the time. Every time you watch a show loaded with hidden signs, every time you get emotionally involved in a narrative that reinforces patterns of fear, guilt, violence, or chaos, something opens up inside you. And it's not just inside big events that this happens. This hypnotic state was designed to be constant, to infiltrate your everyday life. It's in the commercials you see without paying attention, in the songs you sing automatically, in the catchy phrases you repeat because they seem funny or popular. It's in the patterns you passively absorb on social media, in movies, in the conversations around you. It's a constant bombardment that little by little reduces your ability to keep your energy field intact. When you're hypnotized, you don't notice that your field has opened. And when it's open, any external vibration can come in. The big problem isn't going to a show full of stimuli. It's not watching a movie. It's not listening to music. The big problem is when you live on autopilot, consuming all of this without presence, without filter, without awareness. Because in that state, you become vulnerable. Your field loses strength. Your vibrational defenses dissolve, and you become available to energies you didn't consciously choose. The impact of this is real. You feel tired for no reason. You feel a strange emotional weight. You carry tensions you don't even know where they came from, because deep down, you're allowing the external to dictate the quality of your internal field. Now imagine all of this happening on a normal day. Imagine when the portal opens, when collective energies are boiling, when layers and layers of vibrational fields intertwine, amplifying the impact of every thought, every emotion, every distraction. Those who are spiritually asleep will be the first to give away their energy, the first to be swept up by the chaotic flow. But those who are awake, those who are conscious, those who know how to keep their vibration high, will be able to access something that few in the world can. Few people truly understand what's at stake when we talk about spiritual energy. Many think keeping your energy high is just a nice idea, a practice for those who want to feel good or live more lightly. But it's not just that. There's something behind it, something operating in the invisible that turns this into a real act of protection. Because in the spiritual field, there's a currency of exchange, and that currency is energy. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel, every vibration you sustain generates food for the field around you. And that field isn't empty. It's full of consciousnesses, of presences, of entities that vibrate at different levels, and that approach precisely according to what you emit. The obsessive spirits who vibrate in dense ranges don't feed on light. They don't seek your peace, your joy, your confidence. They seek exactly the opposite. Your emotional cracks, your vibrational gaps. They live off fear, anger, envy, guilt, resentment. When you sustain these energies within yourself, you're not just harming your emotional or mental health without realizing it. You're creating an opening, a source, an energetic invitation for these entities to come closer. And not because they're monstrous or evil by nature. They're simply vibrating where you're vibrating. You attract them by the law of resonance. And here's where something even more serious comes in. Portals. When you open energy portals, not just the big collective ones, but also the small personal ones, you're exponentially amplifying the intensity of this game. A portal is an access point, a bridge, a place where energy exchanges become much faster and more intense. In normal situations, your energy circulates in a more protected, more limited way. But when a portal is open, when there's a big vibrational opening, what you're emitting finds an accelerated route outward and inward. It's like you amplify everything that's already happening on the subtle level. That's why keeping your energy high isn't a whim. It's not a trend. It's not an optional detail. It's a conscious choice that determines the quality of what you experience and what you attract to yourself. When your vibration rises, you close gaps. You become less interesting to dense entities, less available for interactions that drain your energy. You strengthen yourself in the invisible field. But when you're low, when you repeat negative patterns, when you fall into cycles of self-pity, fear, judgment, you become an open source, a lit beacon in the middle of the night, calling in everything that vibrates at the same tone. And what happens when a date like June 6th arrives, bringing a portal capable of amplifying both light and shadow, is something you need to be ready to face. The repetition trap and how you get stuck without realizing. And being ready to face this amplification doesn't just mean protecting yourself from external energies, but also courageously looking inside at your own internal cycles. Because the big trap isn't just out there in the portals, in the events, in the collective flows. It's in the patterns you repeat every day without realizing it. The repetition trap is maybe one of the most silent and powerful forces keeping your energy stagnant. You feel an emptiness. You try to fill it with distractions. Social media, shopping, food, overwork, shows, empty conversations. And the next day, the emptiness comes back, sometimes even bigger. This creates a vicious cycle. Emptiness, false feeling, emptiness again. You spend energy, you feel drained, you look for new distractions to numb yourself, and the cycle keeps spinning day after day. The most unsettling part is that while you think you're living, you're actually just moving inside a closed loop. There's no real expansion, no real transformation, just movement in the same place, like a hamster wheel spinning non-stop. This is the real portal, not the one that opens in the sky, but the one you feed yourself through your daily choices, your repeated thoughts, your unquestioned beliefs. When you think, that's just how I am, it's never going to change. It's always been hard. You're not describing a fact, you're programming a pattern, and the more you repeat it, the stronger it becomes. The more it takes root, the more it shapes your reality from the inside out. That's why so many people, even when they try to practice spirituality, even when they read books, watch videos, meditate, still feel stuck because they're looking outward, waiting for something magical to happen, while inside they keep holding on to the same old emotional scripts. You don't realize that the key is in the small choices, in the micro gestures of daily life, in the moments when you could act differently but choose to repeat the familiar. Because the familiar, even if painful, gives a false sense of control. That's why so many attempts at change fail, because it's not just about wanting something new, it's about letting go of the old. But on June 6th, for the first time in a long time, it will be possible to break this cycle. If you know what to look for inside yourself, and to know what to look for inside yourself. You need the courage to face the invisible roots holding you back. Roots so old that you often don't even realize they're there. Because it's not enough just to notice you're stuck in repetitive cycles. You have to understand why those cycles were formed. And here we get to a point that almost no one likes to face. You're not just vibrating what you want, what you consciously choose, what you rationally decide. You're vibrating what's been programmed into you over your entire life. Since you were born, you've been surrounded by beliefs coming from all directions. Beliefs passed down by family who repeated phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," "Life is hard," "True love doesn't exist." Beliefs passed on by religion which often told you that you should sacrifice, suffer, be small to be worthy. Beliefs imposed by culture teaching you what success is, what beauty is, what's right, what's wrong. Beliefs reinforced by politics, by media, by dominant voices that shaped, without you realizing, a limited map of what you think is possible. All of this has rooted itself in your vibrational field, not just as conscious thoughts, but as deep records silently operating in your daily life. That's why even when you try to change, even when you dream bigger, something inside you often pulls you back. Not because you're not capable, not because you don't deserve it, but because there's an old vibrational structure holding up your reality. And until that structure is dismantled, you'll keep repeating the same patterns in different outfits. Here's the powerful shift. True awakening isn't about inventing a new version of yourself. It's not about building an idealized you, full of masks trying to look evolved. True awakening is about deconstructing what was put into you without your consent. It's peeling off the layers that don't belong to you. It's questioning every belief, every rule, every programming you were handed, and asking, is this really mine? Does this resonate with my essence? Or is this just an echo of the voices that have surrounded me all my life? And when the portal amplifies this deconstruction, only those who are prepared will be able to cross without being swallowed by the chaos around. The practical plan to activate your vibrational self-healing. And when the chaos around you starts to amplify, when the old vibrational structures begin to crumble, that's when true awakening happens. But don't confuse awakening with turning into something new, perfect, or unattainable. Awakening isn't about becoming some spiritualized version of yourself who never makes mistakes, never feels fear, never fails. Awakening is actually the movement of returning to what you always were before the layers, before the masks, before the conditioning. It's the process of reclaiming a power that was always yours, but that you were taught to abandon. Remember that child you once were, that curious, free essence who knew how to laugh at simple things, who trusted the natural flow of life. That part of you is still there. But over the years, demands, fears, rules, and imposed patterns came along. And little by little, you moved away from who you truly are. Awakening is reconnecting with that essence. It's stopping the fight to fit in and starting to align your life with what deeply resonates in your heart. It's realizing that peace, joy, and purpose aren't distant goals you achieve after completing 1,000 tasks, but states you can access right now when you let go of the invisible chains you've been carrying. And here's the most powerful detail of this specific moment. The June 6th portal isn't just another date on the spiritual calendar. It's a rare opportunity because it synchronizes universal forces, amplified energy fields that make this realignment more accessible, more intense, more transformative. It's like the universe is reaching out its hand saying, now this is the moment when the doors are open for you to reconnect your field with your inner truth. It's not that the portal will do this for you automatically. It's not an external magic that fixes everything, but it's a catalyst. It's an amplifier. It boosts what you're ready to awaken inside yourself. And it's exactly in the next section that I'm going to give you the concrete vibrational practices to cross the 66 portal with full awareness and activate your energetic self-healing. The start of the torment isn't an accident. It's a call. And to understand why it hurts so much, we need to dive into each layer that makes it up. Imagine your life as a house built over the years. Every memory, every experience, every belief, every pain you swallowed silently, every forced smile to keep up appearances, all of that became part of that structure. But the moment comes when the walls start to creak. Small cracks appear. You try to cover them up, push furniture in front, paint over them. But the internal structure is compromised. The torment is this: the moment when your soul starts pressing against those walls, saying it no longer wants to live in a false space, that it can't bear to carry the masks anymore, that it can't stand the imposed roles. Now, here's the practical and powerful part. How do you start breaking free from this torment? How do you dismantle piece by piece this scenario you built yourself? First, you need to recognize the exact point where it hurts. This isn't metaphorical. Grab a notebook, a piece of paper, or simply close your eyes and take a deep breath. Ask yourself, where does it hurt? What area of my life weighs the most? Relationships, work, self-image, finances. Pick just one. The one that pulses the strongest, that triggers a tightness in your chest just thinking about it. Don't try to fix everything at once, because that's the mistake that paralyzes. Start at the core. Next, write. What are the phrases I keep repeating to myself in this area? It could be, I'll never be loved. I'm not enough. I always fail. No one really sees me. Don't edit. Don't dress it up. Don't rationalize. Write it raw. Direct. True. These phrases are the invisible bricks holding up your torment. Once you put them on paper, you pull them out of the shadow. And what comes out of the shadow starts to lose power. Now, here's the essential step that many people skip. Read these phrases out loud. That's right. Read them slowly, letting each word resonate in the air. Feel their impact. Allow the emotions to rise. Let the anger, the sadness, the fear show up. This is the moment when stagnant energy starts to move. You can't heal what you don't feel. You can't transform what you don't face head on. Take a deep breath. Place a hand on your chest and say out loud, I acknowledge that these phrases were put on me, but they don't define who I am. Repeat this until you feel a bit of relief. It doesn't have to be huge relief. A thread of lightness already signals that you've opened a crack in the pattern. And here comes the gold. You need to replace those bricks. You need to put something new in their place. Take a new sheet of paper and write, if I were free from this weight, how would I act? What would I say? How would I move through the world? Imagine yourself living without these limitations. The brain doesn't distinguish imagination from reality. It responds to the internal images you feed it. So, feed it new images. Choose new words. Tell yourself, I am worthy of love. I am capable of creating abundance. I am seen. I am needed. I am unique. Now, here's the final practice, the one that aligns your vibration with this transformation. Stand up. That's right. Physically stand up. Put on music that lifts you up, that makes you feel powerful, strong, expansive. Dance. Move your body, even if just for 2 minutes. Why? Because the body holds memories, holds pain, holds patterns. And when you move the body consciously while affirming new words, you create real vibrational reprogramming. You're not just thinking differently, You're vibrating differently. If you made it this far, you can already feel it. You're not here by accident. So, write in the comments. I choose to cross the portal to seal your vibrational intention and show that you're aware of this powerful moment. I really want to read your words, because when you declare your intention, you start moving energy in the field, and if you want to help the channel more directly, so we can spread more and more content like this around the world, there's a link available in the first pinned comment for contributions here on the channel. Every bit of help strengthens this chain and allows us to bring even more deep teachings to you and to those who need it most. And before you go, listen. I've set aside a special video for you to click on right now that will take you even deeper into this journey. It's showing up on the screen. Don't leave here without clicking, because that's where we'll continue together activating the next step of your vibrational alignment. I'll see you in the next video. Let's go together.